Thank you very much. I'm going to try to attempt to lower this just a little bit, if that's okay. Oh, here we go. Good thing, because I'll break it. Thank you. I'm a little bit shorter than everyone in the room. The summer of '96, and I was saying earlier that it's nice to be able to talk in a room where at least most of you were born in 1996. Tend to forget how long it's been. But it was just an absolutely incredible year for me, for my team, the Magnificent Seven, as we would come to be known. I remember walking into the Georgia Dome, 40,000 screaming people, flashbulbs popping, and just a sense that this was our night. This was our time. We had bronze in '92. We were going to go home with nothing less than gold at these games. And by the end of the competition, we proudly stood atop that gold medal platform as a team with the first ever women's gymnastics gold medal. And it was absolutely spectacular. Yes, thank you. It was magical. It was an absolutely magical evening. And for all the athletes in the room, you know how hard you work day in and day out. And to finally get to the culmination of your career and to be able to grasp that gold, it is just, it's an amazing feeling. And to be able to see your flag being raised and hear the sound of your national anthem and know that you took part in that. It was just incredible. And several days later, I found myself going into the balance beam event final. It's one of those things after the team event, you kind of have to wake yourself up and pinch yourself, and you go, okay, wait a second, it's not over yet. And sometimes your coach has to remind you of that. I had still had 3 more competitions to go. And it had not gone particularly well. It was a bit of a roller coaster. Started out on this high with this team gold medal. Then I went into the all-around final, and I had a good competition, but I stumbled a little bit on the floor exercise. Didn't finish exactly where I would have liked. Went into the vault final and performed a vault that I never missed in practice. I mean, never missed this vault once in practice, and fell, splat, right on my rear in front of millions of people at the Olympic Games. So I was devastated, and here I was looking at my last event final, my last 90 seconds of my entire Olympic career, balance beam, the most feared event in all of gymnastics, 4 inches wide, 16 feet long, and how in the world was I going to stay on this thing? I fall off of it all the time. So it was that night, just getting up the courage, telling myself, okay, you've trained, you've done the work, you've gone through the blood, sweat, and tears. And then as I walked up to the podium and saluted the judge, I held my hands over the beam, just a couple extra beats that night, and I thought about something my mom had said. She said, Shannon, you've done all the work, you've gone through the repetition. This is your time. You need to enjoy this. There are a million little girls out there that would do anything to fall off the beam at an Olympic Games. Go out there and enjoy it. And I think for the first time in my career, we're always taught block out the crowd. You focus, you put those blinders on, nothing else exists except you and that beam. And this was the first time in my career that I really allowed the audience in. I remember there was a guy up in the left hand of the stands, and it was just, you could hear a pin drop. It was so quiet in the arena, and this guy yells out, hey, shut your flash off. And, here I'm thinking, oh, isn't that sweet? He wants to make sure everyone has their cameras off and all of that. And then it was this instant, wait, why are you thinking about this? Think about your next move. And so all those things were going on, but it was that moment in time where you realize that this is so much bigger than just you. And it's just a part of life that you need to enjoy whatever happens because you've done all the work up into that point. So you give 100%. No one can ask more of you, and you can't ask any more of yourself. So I kind of went through the routine, skill after skill. I gained a little bit more confidence with each skill that I hit, and finally I was at the end of the beam, arms raised, ready for the dismount, just saying a little prayer, please God, just let me land on my feet tonight. And I hurtled toward the end of the beam, 1 twist, 2 flips later, when I felt my feet hit the floor, and I realized I was standing up. It was the most amazing feeling ever. You know, this mix of joy and excitement and relief. And I think I saluted the judge, but who the heck knows at that point. I saw my coach jumping up and down on the sidelines, and I didn't know what the score was. To this day, I'm not really sure what the score was. I didn't know if there was a medal, what color it might be. But what I knew was I had just performed about the best routine that I could have under the circumstances, and I was pretty happy with that. That moment, that gold medal routine was 15 years in the making.